The year is 2023. The place to be is the Level Up Gaming Convention in Salzburg, where over 15,000 square meters of pixels and polygons play to the masses and awe the crowds. And Connie and I were stoked to be there.
Hello everyone, I'm here at the Level Up in Salzburg, and yeah, it's already a bit bigger and more impressive than last year, and I'm still trying to get my bearings here, but oh look, it's Darth Vader behind me. I'm still trying to get my bearings and see where everything is, where the indies are, where the retro games are, but so far I already feel at home. I feel that I've met my crowd. So let's see what we can all find here.
Just like last year, the place was packed with gamers, devs, and people from all walks of life, eager to play some games! There were video games, computer games, retro games, board games, indie games, VR games, tabletop games, fighting games, big games, small games, free-to-play games, pinball games, and even more games that I probably missed. And a great place to meet friends, old and new. First order of business for me was getting coffee. Surprisingly, Nespresso had a little stand offering unusual coffee creations. Being a native Styrian, I tried the Styrian pumpkin seed oil latte and, well, it was the bomb! Totally jiggy on coffee, I buzzed along with the racing drones showing off radical maneuvers at a breakneck speed that my camera couldn't quite catch, but I live to tell the tale. Consider yourself bedazzled. If you felt like escaping reality and other people, well, psych! Cyberclash has you compete against friends and strangers in a virtual reality that looks so much cooler than the show floor already looked. Again this year, the armed forces strong-armed themselves to another show of force at the Level Up, and it was tasteless. I mean, on one side of the floor, age restrictions for shooters were strictly followed, whereas these bozos here let kids have a go with a machine gun in their shooting simulator. Did I mention they were recruiting? Ugh, gag me with a spoon. They also sported a bug-in VR experience that never went beyond this finest programmer art. Even military police were flossing in full armor, while their toys took a chill pill in a dark corner, unless they shimmied them around ever so often. Lame. Thankfully, the armed forces got outranked and outclassed by these high-ranking envoys from the Dark Force. In service to the masses, the Level Up saw various esports matches throughout the day. It felt like a big happening with the commentators providing context as frags got made and points were scored. Mad props to all the esport jocks flashing their moves. But if you love a game so much that you'd even watch someone play, hey, why not have it etched in your skin while you're there? I mean, what's the dealio? It was time for Connie and me to chillax with Mindstorm on the Vectrex while my camera juiced up. The Vectrex creates images not by drawing pixels, but by plotting lines. Here's how that looks at 1/30th speed. Wicked! The game got its grip on us, and we developed a certain degree of proficiency before moving on. While last year had real-life Fall Guys on a budget, this year it was Rocket League at the same affordable production value. It didn't help to have actual Rocket League gameplay right next to players fighting not each other, but the controls. But straight up, watching them fumble and bumble was just as entertaining. Go! Go! This year there also was a Midway of merch. folks peddling all sorts of nerd-tastic trinkets, the obligatory Funko Pops, but even potion bottles, bandanas, art, furry tales, and red mangas over dozens of square decimeters. Dozens! Also present was Austria's OG alternative radio station, Radio FM4, interviewing indies and streaming live from the venue. Naturally, I went to say hi, and will say hi again. Hi FM4, thanks for watching. If you're like Connie and me, you'll love all the little miniatures and models we encountered. Some life-sized, others as tiny as a thumb. But what good are those gnarly miniatures if you don't play with them? That's right, the Alpine Grand Tournament was held at Level Up. Countless battles were fought alongside in stunningly detailed arenas by mostly dudes with measuring tape and dice. Oh, so many dudes. I mean dice. I know that some of you are here to see the hottest trends in retro games, and boy oh boy, they had all the zingers and more. The classic shmup Synapse on an authentic Spectrum with a less authentic and pretty worn out Competition Pro joystick brought my thumbs close to their breaking point. Turrican on the Amiga remains bodacious. Just look at that smooth scrolling and action-packed gameplay. Look at it! Since my camera's battery needed another pick-me-up, Connie and I went to town on an Amiga 500 Mini. Team 17's classic Worms was as entertaining as ever, before we tried some of the other games on the machine. Alien Breed. The doors eat your keys? The Sentinel. Why am I always looking at walls? Zool. Can my eyes have diabetes? Arcade Pool. At least the AI is having fun playing with itself. Quark. If it looks like a duck, it controls like a duck. Look, Ma, I'm #1. Lunch break! Just follow your nose to the food court. A pulled pork sando with potato chips on the side, of all things, set me back $10 and was anything but a taste bud party. Bummer. I had to wash that down with another coffee. I saved the best for last. The indie area really pumped up the jam this year with so many great games. Old, improved, and new. The uber-tastic supernatural fan game UEBERNATURAL made another appearance, while I took the charming interactive experience Adulting for a spin. Not for the faint of heart was Wake, that has you complete time trials in an open world. MAANU was an arcadey romp with improvable player onboarding, so it took me a while to get the hang of it. The dankest game title this year was without a doubt Chonky, From Breakfast to Domination, a gorgeous RPG with a cute protagonist and cooldowns I never fully grew comfortable with. I very much enjoyed another great-looking yet completely different game, Ruins of the Lost. A roguelike, Diablo-like, that was like totally awesome-like. It was also great to see other Austrian game studios show a presence. There was Redox Interactive with a smorgasbord of titles such as the slammin' worms like Kashroom. We saw Rarebyte displaying We Are Screwed and Rogue Glitch. and Mipumi kept it 100 with their beautiful tactics folktale Howl. The evening light mirrored the hauntingly harrowing Hauma, a fresh-to-death Noir detective game made in Godot. So fly. And after 6 hours of pleasant sensory overload, Connie and I were wasted, and it was time to roll out in style. But I couldn't bounce before getting my traditional bubbly beverage. Last year I got a comment about my unskilled straw punctuation skills. So this year I've wisened up and popped the top like a pro top popper. There we go, look at this happy chum with a straw between their eyes.
Well, and that was the Level Up 2023. I think I got everything from it that I wanted. I played a lot of indie games, played a lot of retro games, and most importantly, have me a bubble tea that tastes like cookies. Well, and I got lots of high 8 videos, so there's that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to producing the vlog, so if you're seeing this, apparently I succeeded. So yeah, it's great, and I don't know how to end things.